I swear, sometimes I just cannot deal with this anime. Like, what an episode that was. Like, this has got, like, oh my gosh. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, like, the whole time, like, propping myself up, doing these kind of motions during this whole entire episode. And then I just want to talk real quick about, you know how, like, at the end of every episode, they have, like, that little really quirky animated scene. Like, I could not deal with this week's episode. Like, you have freaking Tanjiro there just gasping for his life, and then Nezuko's there, and he just flips around. He just like like he just flip. I freaking lost it. I was just trying to deal with the whole scene of what happened at the end of the episode with the demon exploding. and they pulled that scene out of their butt, and I was like, oh my god, talk about like a 180 on emotions from what we were dealing with right now with the end of that Demon Slayer episode. I just had to talk about that. I just had to talk about that really, really quickly because I was just like, oh my god. Like, I was heartbroken. I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen? And then they pulled that scene out of their ass, and I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So a lot happened this episode, but I really got to give the MVP award this episode. I know. We have Tanjiro there, and, he pulled the sun breathing technique out of his butt, and he looks like he is a descendant of that person who kind of initiated sun breathing, which that person kind of looked like his dad. So, I mean, you can kind of put two and two together that in some way, shape, or form, he has that bloodline in him, even without his scar and everything, even with his scar being manufactured through an accident. You saw his scar literally glow and grow bright, and you saw his hair kind of grow, which I think is going to be really cool. That totally reminds me of they took inspiration here from Dragon Ball. They took inspiration from Hunter x Hunter, which just kind of like, okay, when he's going into that next mode, his hair's going to grow a little bit. And I think it's just going to be really cool when the anime ends up kind of like moving forward into kind of like the next steps and into his next a growth that he has, as he kind of aims to be a Hashira and stuff, like he's gonna be able to call on these certain powers, push himself over these limits. I think it's like freaking awesome. But I like how the episode definitely solidified that, yeah, he is some kind of either descendant or something, but he has some kind of bloodline ties to that family and to that family, to that person. But then what that also means, conversely, is that means Nezuko does too. So we know that Nezuko was like a pet project of Muzan, right? And the reason that she was allowed to live, etc., was because she was Muzan's pet project to try and, become a sun walker, essentially. He wanted to try something different here to potentially get a demon to be able to walk in the sun, and then, I don't know, be able to suck them up or use their blood or do something to where he could also get that ability as well. But obviously none of it's gone as planned, and Nezuko has turned into this like alternate form demon so far. She still can't walk in the sun, so on his drawing board, that's definitely put an X over that, but she definitely is turning into something different, and that could very well be because she also has the blood, because she's also a descendant of that one person who initiated kind of just breathing techniques and stuff. So, there could be something to play there. It could also be absolutely nothing. It could be nothing at all. And it could have not have anything to do with the reason that she is turning into the type of demon that she is. But at the same time, there could be something there. We just don't know. But I was going back to the MVP. So I know, Tanjiro pulled it out of his ass. Tanjiro pulled the beheading out of his ass. But I really want to put that MVP award here to Zenitsu, man. Like, Zenitsu not only, towards the end of the last episode, not only went and pushed his homeboy Tanjiro out the way, so he saved his ass, right? He took a whole building on head. He took a whole building on himself. He was able to use his breathing technique to get out of the rubble, all while asleep, mind you. But he used his breathing technique, his thunderclap, Godspeed, to get out of that. And then out of nowhere, right, he comes and he hits the upper six demon, and he hits her with a He hits her with a thunderclap, first form, Godspeed, and he says he's got 2 in him. He's got 2 in him, and he pulls it out of his ass. And I really got to give him the MVP award this week, just because I really feel like, he pulled it. He pulled one out at the end of last week. He pulled one out again this week. Without him, they couldn't even be as close as they were, as close as they were to even being where they are this week. And then you got to give Tengen, some props as well, because Tengen, with his ninja arts, was able to stop his heart to try and stop the poison so he could recover from it. And Homeboy's rocking one arm. He got nub over here, arm over here, and he was able to come back and double team with Tanjiro this week. And you got to give it to our boy, Tanjiro too, pulling all kinds of stuff out of his butt too, looking like he was just giving up and throwing dirt at this demon, but really he threw a kunai with poison to get a 1-up on him. He used his big ass head to headbutt this dude, and he almost got him almost instantly as well. And the last thing, you got to give the 6th man. You got to give the 6th man award to our boy Inosuke, which I like how they spent like 0 seconds on him. He's just like, I grew up in the mountains. Moving organs inside of me is no problems. Like, yo, I couldn't even tell you what organ is where. And this boy is like, just moving around. Like, he's like, my heart is in my butthole now. He's like, it's fine. Like, how do you even do that, homie? But I was like, plot armor, let's go. But he recovers, to double team up with Zenitsu. And I was like, yeah, let's go. None of our boys are dead. We all straight. Even Tengen's wife isn't dead. But then they hit us with that last part of the episode where they behead the demons, and Homeboy blows up with his blood art. And it looks like he was marinating that for a while as a just in case. It looks like he was trying to maybe, let out his huge blood art so he didn't get beheaded, but it looks like he said F it, and it looks like he just exploded, which I thought was insane. Which obviously, because Tengen's sound, the way he hears sounds it's so elevated that he was able to hear it come. But obviously Tanjiro couldn't do jack shit because, he was just trying to live for a second. And the one that I think Tanjiro will make it, obviously. I think Tengen will probably get him out the way somehow, some way. The one I'm most concerned with, though, is Nezuko. She's just up in a box somewhere. And that blood art literally obliterated the block. Like, it obliterated the block of whatever was there, whatever district, entertainment, it's gone. It's gone. It's Blood District now, and, like, just wow. But, I mean, like, this episode, though, it was so good. Tengen's fight, so good. I think Zenitsu one, that one was the one that I was like, I know Tengen's was cool with the sound and, the choir, and, I can hear the score, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I thought his fight was beautifully animated. I thought that was cool. But I think Zenitsu's one, where he just bust ass out of there. I love when they show Zenitsu like da 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 da, and you see like the lightning trail. I get off on that. I think that's the coolest when they animate that. Also, I want to give them animating props. They did use some CGI on the fire. So Gyugu, whatever, Gyugu, I'm gonna call him Gyugu, whatever that demon's name is, when he's kind of like walking towards Tanjiro and they had the fire. It was like, yo, that looks like legit fire. So I got to give them props on working that CG this week. I thought their CG, I don't know, a couple weeks ago was kind of ass, but this week I was like, it looks really good. And man, I cannot wait to see the falling out of this. I think their battle is done. I think Homeboy literally, like, he used the destructive move. I think he used like explode. So I know that they're gone for sure. At least I feel that way. But man, like all the backlash of this, Tengen's losing his arm. Inosuke he got impaled. Zenitsu, like, he effed up his legs. Nezuko, like, she's in hibernation mode. And Tanjiro, he got the most effed up. He got mortally stabbed over here already. He got his fingers broken, his arms broken. He got stabbed through his jaw over here. Like, he's like, they're gonna like, Butterfly Girl's gonna have to, like, I don't even know, cast. They're gonna have to get Healing Girl from My Hero to come kiss him up. Like he needs like some serious healing powers. But I'm gonna leave you guys on that. I just past 10 minutes. I don't want to be too long. Thank you guys for joining me for another week of Demon Slayer. This episode was kick freaking ass. It was so good. And next week we're gonna get a 45-minute special. It was announced today, so we're gonna get a 45-minute special for the finale for Demon Slayer next week. So come join me for that. All right, my friends. I will see you guys next week for the finale of Demon Slayer. Peace out.